All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're live today. We got Bennett in the house with us. We're
Yes,
gonna
sir.
play some music, but one of the things that I said we would do on the show is like talk a little bit about some sports news, and this is the guy to do it. He knows what's going on in the sporting world, and we do have a big host of sports news to talk about, and that is, of course, first and foremost, the NBA Finals being set. What has your reaction been to the last two series that saw the Bucks and the Suns make it through? The Suns have a just incredible run.
I know, right? And by the way, I just want to say that that's some great hosting
Thank you.
going on. Good introduction, but the Suns. So you want me to talk about like the road to the finals for the Suns?
Yeah. That would be great. Yeah, take us through the road to the finals for both teams.
Well, obviously, the Suns' first round matchup against the Lakers. I mean, I would say I'm a pretty big LeBron fan. So
Me too.
Yeah. I mean, I find it. I mean, people hate him. People don't like him, and I'm the complete opposite. Like, I don't really understand where they're coming from. Yeah, so I love the guy, and I thought the Lakers would win. Maybe I was just blinded by my love for LeBron.
I thought they would win too. Yeah.
But also, I mean, they were the champions last year, so really tough matchup for the Suns going in, despite having home court advantage. Really tough matchup for the Suns, and I don't think a lot of people predicted them to win that matchup, but they ended up doing so, and so it was really a great series. I think it went to 6 games. Anthony Davis getting hurt was a big break for them.
In terms of momentum and stuff like that.
In terms of momentum, in terms of just like the Lakers not having the ability to keep up with the Suns. Who's going to guard Booker? Who's going to guard Chris Paul? And who's going to guard Aiden now that Anthony Davis is down? Speaking about Aiden, he was really solid that first round. He's been solid throughout the playoffs, and he's someone who's really improved their stock in the 2021 NBA playoffs.
If you had to say for the Suns, like what part of their team made them so good, what would you say it was?
A lot of people would point to the addition of Chris Paul, but I would argue that the role players really stepping up and like such as Cameron Payne. Nobody really thought of him as someone who would score. I think he's scoring like 14 points a game. I mean that's huge off the bench, and no one really thought of him as that guy going into the playoffs. And someone like Cameron Johnson too, who's hit a lot of threes. He's a big three shooter. And Aiden stepping up, just all these guys stepping up when they needed to has been really vital and important for the Suns, especially in that first round tough matchup against the Lakers. I would say that was the toughest matchup they had, and they got through in 6.
And what happened next for them down the road?
I correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure they took down the Nuggets in 4.
Yeah, that sounds right. That sounds
yeah.
right.
So Aiden really stepped up there, like having the ability to guard Jokic. I mean, no one can really guard him, but slow him down. He did a great job of doing that.
Yeah, I think Jokic really proved himself there in terms of having a pretty solid series, and he's was he the one who won MVP?
Yeah. He just
because I always get it because there's like multiple Okic's, and you don't want to get Jokic and Doncic,
all those European guys.
You can get all the Serbian takeover. Of course they had the Suns meeting with the reigning MVP, and then they had to get past Paul George and the LA Clippers. So
I know, and they got a lucky break with the Nuggets without having to face Jamal Murray. Lucky break for them against the Clippers, not having faced Kawhi. I mean, if Kawhi's there, it's a
and
different
Anthony
series.
Davis and Anthony Davis.
Yeah, and
so
Anthony Davis,
each way, their road has been paved with very convenient injuries. So how do you think that prepares them? Do you think they should be nervous coming to this one?
Well, I mean, Giannis is hurt. I just watched a video though on my Instagram feed where he was he seemed to be moving pretty well, and he's actually questionable.
Yes, he's upgraded question for tonight. Is tonight? Yeah, it's 9 o'clock. Yeah, we will be done in time with today's show for the start of that game. So
yeah,
you want to watch that after?
Yeah,
we should.
All right, that'll be a really exciting game.
Let's talk about the Bucks though. They have had an interesting road. So how did they start off? Yes, you got to go back.
I can't exactly remember who they beat in the first round. Who did they play? Who?
Let's see. They beat. I know they got past the Hawks to win.
Right.
But it feels like so long ago.
I know that really does.
Yeah, when it first. Oh yeah, so it was the Nets. They started with the Nets.
No, that was the second round.
That was the second round. That was Miami Heat. Yeah. So,
yeah. Oh, right. The Heat. That was an
interesting series because the Heat have been. I do know a little bit, but they've been like kind of struggling all year. They hadn't found their bubble magic. Do you think it was a bubble fluke for them in the end for the Heat?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Was it the fluke bubble? Was the bubble kind of a fluke for them?
I mean, that's tough to say because I don't necessarily think it was a fluke, but they played above what I think they're capable of. I think they overachieved, and after a year where you're really overachieving, it's hard to sort of like be consistently overachieving. So they sort of just got humbled by the Bucks.
And the dominance of that performance was something to behold.
It was unbelievable. I remember I watched Game 1. It was super close. I'm almost 99% sure that Chris Middleton hit a game winner that game. Chris Middleton, by the way, has been really good. Huge. Especially in that first series against Miami, Giannis and Middleton and Jrue Holiday just took over and absolutely manhandled the Heat. And Brook Lopez too. Just a good 4 guys to have on your team. And I remember thinking going into the playoffs, Donte DiVincenzo, I think he tore his ACL. So a lot of people don't really know how good DiVincenzo is, but he's easily, I would say, one of the best guard defenders, wing defenders. He's just a really good defender. Can hit a couple threes. I love guys like that. They're so important in championship
yes,
teams.
Especially like clutch down the line, third, fourth quarter, in like a close playoff game. You them hit like a couple threes, and they're good for it. That's very good.
And then clamp on the other end, guys who can just shoot threes and play defense. I love those guys, and DiVincenzo is one of those guys. And I was saying that the Bucks should be a little bit nervous about that injury, but they've gotten to the NBA Finals.
They have gone this far, yeah. And it really was quite something in the second round when they had to face the Brooklyn Nets, which are the super they were the super team. They were, were they championship favorites coming into the season?
Yeah,
definitely them and the Lakers, right?
Yeah, it was them and the Lakers, and once they got Harden, it was
secured. Yeah,
yeah. And I think this was the year where it's their first year together. They need to sort chemistry out. I think next year they're pretty much locks to win that title. Unless the Lakers have a resurgence, another team maybe get some more pieces. Like let's say, for example, the Sixers get Lillard, that shakes things up.
Yeah.
This
summer is going to be
This summer is going to be interesting, but I think the Nets are pretty much locks to win the title next year, especially after heartbreaking fashion losing to the. By the way, what a game! Game 7.
I remember that.
Did you watch it?
I watched some of it, but then I went out after that. And then I found out they lost. I did think the Nets would pull it back because you just think they're such a good team. They have so many different weapons, but all throughout the season I just read story after story of one of them being out, another one of them being out, and just never felt like they were able to gel together as a team
and to get that chemistry together that they apparently needed. I mean, and also Kyrie was out that game, which obviously played.
Yeah, that's another big thing.
And Harden was. Maybe his ankle was hurt. I forget, but he was playing on something hurt in games. I think he only played games 6 and 7 or 5 or something like that. So that definitely played a factor. I mean, he played terribly in Game 7, but Jrue Holiday and Middleton really did not play that well in that Game 7 either. It was mostly just Giannis versus Durant, and Giannis ended up winning the battle.
Durant was pretty incredible too.
He hit the game-tying shot with a second left
to send it
overtime. And that was, everyone who was watching the game knew that shot was going in. It just, was it a 3? Was it not? If it was a 3, he was probably an inch away, less than an inch from it being a 3.
Just crazy.
It's a game of margins.
Yeah. Do you think the Nets are a failure from this year in what they could have been? Because it's tough. Certainly a lot of valid quote unquote excuses you can make for them, but in the end they didn't get the job done. That's the thing.
They didn't get the job done, but I don't think it's a failure as long as they win one championship. I don't think any team is a failure as long as they win one championship, no matter how good, no matter what the expectations. Because that's really the ultimate goal, to win one championship. And, well, I guess the next goal after that is to win two. But I think one championship is satisfactory enough for
yeah,
me,
especially for a
lot
team
of
like the
players.
Nets who have like spent big in the past to no avail. Because, and I'm sure I think it'll always be like primarily in like a Nick town, New York.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but still, it would be good for them to like kind of get that feather in their cap. Finally, the Atlanta Hawks. They've been kind of perennial contenders from like the Mike Budenholzer days.
The Bucks?
No, when he was on the Hawks, Mike Budenholzer, and like
I didn't even know that, but yeah. I mean,
yeah, that was like that was my sports now. I'm again like 2014, 2015. I feel like
they were a really good team those years with like Teague, Millsap.
yeah.
Teague, Millsap.
And they won a ton of regular
Corver.
season games, so they didn't do that well in the playoffs.
Yeah, no, they're always. I remember them always underachieving a little bit in the playoffs. They might have not even made an Eastern Conference Finals appearance.
Yeah, that was
they might have,
was my Colin Cowherd era. That was like when I was like listening to the news. Like the Hawks are not like they have like some analogy to talk about.
So they went from underachieving. They went from underachieving then to now overachieving.
Overachieving,
and big overachievers. Philadelphia. I mean, they beat the Knicks in 5. I'm a Knicks fan, so that was pretty brutal.
Yeah.
They were clearly the better team on both ends that series, and then beating the Sixers.
Watching the Knicks, just like no offense all throughout the playoffs.
I know Randall was just hideous, so that stinks. But
yeah.
also, a lot of people would say that the success of the Hawks is due to Trae Young, but I think in the same boat as the Suns, it's more about different role players stepping up. Like Herter had a couple really good games. Reddish has been was really good against the Bucks. Capella was dominant against them. Capella's been really good all playoffs. Maybe bringing back traditional center value. Aiden and Capella might have done that. But yeah, just role players like that. Bogdanovich was really good too. Again, especially against the Knicks. He destroyed us. But obviously Trae Young has been the main guy. But for example, Game 7 against Philly, he didn't play that well. Game 6 against the Bucks, pretty horrendous. So yeah,
saying he's missing that clutch gene.
I don't know if he's missing the clutch. He's young, right?
Yep.
I think he's 22, but in these playoffs, he didn't play in any elimination game. Well, he played in I think two elimination games. In both games, he played just terribly.
Not well. All right.
Like I'm not even not well. Horrendous. But yeah.
All right. So who would you say wins tonight?
Wins tonight.
Yeah, we'll talk about it a little bit later on, but we're gonna get into music next. But who would you say wins tonight?
Wins tonight.
At Phoenix, though, to start.
It's in Phoenix, so I think the pick most people would have is the Suns, and I'm on that side. Yeah. I don't think a lot of people are picking the Bucks, especially if Giannis doesn't play. But even if he does play, he's hurt. I was watching the game live when the injury happened. Brutal.
I remember. I saw that. Yeah.
Were we watching it together? We might have.
I think so.
I think so.
Yeah,
but it really looked like he tore his ACL. And I was super bummed out about that because I was like, that
really would have ruined the series. Kind of like
know.
that series, the finals, Cavs Warriors, where like all the Cavs were injured except for LeBron and like Dellavedova or something like that. Yeah,
and I also interesting question to ask is whose legacy is what's the word I'm looking for? Like bettered the most improved the most between Giannis and Chris Paul if either of them wins the finals. I mean, I can make a case for
how many rings does Chris Paul have?
0.
I think it'd be big for Chris Paul.
He's 36. He's a top 5 point guard of all time.
2 years max left, probably. I would say.
Yeah, I mean, his championship window is closing, and especially because the Nets. I think Giannis will have more chances. I don't think Chris Paul is going to get another chance as good as this.
Yeah, Giannis has already had such a he has such a clear like path and like big future ahead of him. But he's going to be with the Bucks for a long time, so kind of fair.
But
for that.
a question to ask though is Giannis a top 25 player of all time? If he wins a ring, is he already a top 25 player?
I wouldn't say already. Like you got to have let it sit. I think for a little bit.
I would say so too. But how many guys are 2-time MVPs? That's another question to ask yourself.
That's true. I think LeBron should have been like a 4 or 5.
He's a 4-time MVP right now. I just want to say that. But 6-time MVP, 7-time MVP. I think a lot of
it's certainly fair.
I think a lot of MVPs were stolen from LeBron. That could just be my love
I agree.
For LeBron.
I 100% agree with that.
Yeah.
Every scene where they would have got won like 20 or 30 games without him, and they end up winning like 40 or 50 and like going to the playoffs.
Yeah.
You know, like that is a big like feather in LeBron's cap. Yeah. All right, yeah. You're our guest today, so you could pick our first song here in our Uncultured mix for this Tuesday evening. So what are you going with? What are you going with to start?
I want you to pick first.
All right. Are you passing off? All right.
Passing it off.
That is perfectly all right. We're just throw on a little bit of a let's throw on some Mac Miller to start things off.
This is gonna feel real good, alright? Most dope. Everybody please put a thumb in the air.
1, 2, 3, 4. Some crazy ass kids gonna knock up on your door, so let 'em in, let 'em in, let 'em in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Some crazy ass kids gonna knock up on your door, so let 'em in, let 'em in, let 'em in.
I feel like $1,000,000, but my money don't really feel like I do. And from the ground I built my own damn buzz. People was amazed I was still in high school, but now I'm out. And money what I'm about, trying to get so much that I can't keep count. New kicks give me cushion like whoopee. Keep a smile like an eating pork cookie. Everything good, I'm white boy awesome. Up all night, Johnny Carson. I ain't got a Benz, no, just a Honda. But try and get my money like an anaconda. Real long, cross the country. Smoke joints in the whip, no cop can bust me. Driving to the stage, they applaud and scream. All them pretty little girls come and flock to me. Yeah, I rack the beat.
1, 2, 3, 4. Some crazy ass kids gonna knock up on your door, so let 'em in, let 'em in, let 'em in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Some crazy ass kids gonna knock up on your door, so let 'em in, let 'em in, let 'em in.
And I like my rhymes witty, all my dimes pretty. If you got weed, you can come fly with me. I don't take pity on them silly little hoes. Milli Vanilli, but this is really how it goes. Mouth my words, don't say shit. Shh, shut up, bitch, and ride this dick. I'm just playing, let's have a ball. All we need is some weed, hoes, and alcohol. Hey, don't forget it when I'm wrecking the etiquette for the hell of it. Smelling it when the L is lit, I'm flying in a pelican. Young, fresh, but I'm so damn intelligent. Girls giving brains, cause I'm acting like a gentleman. In deeper than the water Michael Phelps was in. Finna have a party, baby, you can tell your friends. We the type looking right, still setting trends. Fuck a job, I'ma get these dead presidents.
1, 2, 3, 4. Some crazy ass kids gonna knock up on your door, so let 'em in, let 'em in, let 'em in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Some crazy ass kids gonna knock up on your door, so let 'em in, let 'em in, let 'em in. Not a day goes by when I ain't getting high. They wonder why don't I go get myself a job so I can make them bucks. But I don't give a fuck, no, I feel great. Bitch, I feel great. 1, 2, 3, 4. Some crazy ass kids gonna knock up on your door, so let 'em in, let 'em in, let 'em in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Some crazy ass kids gonna knock up on your door, so let 'em in, let 'em in, let 'em in.
We are taking you from Mac Miller to Rihanna. We're making that transition work right here on Uncultured. Ponder replay is this one.
Mr. DJ, song on the replay. Mr. DJ, won't you turn the music up? All the girls on the dance floor wanting some more. Mr. DJ, won't you turn the music up? Mr. DJ, song on the replay. Mr. DJ, won't you turn the music up? All the girls on the dance floor wanting some more. Mr. DJ, won't you turn the music up? It goes 1 by 1, even 2 by 2. Everybody in the floor, let me show you
real friends. How many of us? How many of us? How many jealous? Real friends. There's not many of us. We smile at each other, but how many honest? Trust issues. Switched up the number. I can't be bothered. I cannot blame you for having an angle. I ain't got no issues. I'm just doing my thing. Hope you doing your thing too. I'm a deadbeat cousin. I hate family reunions. Fuck the church up by drinking at the communion. Spilling free wine. Now my tux is ruined. In town for a date. What the fuck we doing? Who your real friends? We all came from the bottom. I'm always blaming you, but what's sad? You not the problem. Damn, I forgot to call him. Shit, I thought it was Thursday. Why you wait a week to call my phone in the first place? When was the last time I remembered a birthday? When was the last time I wasn't in a hurry?
Tell me you want them tickets when it's game time. Even to call your daughter on the FaceTime. Even when we was young, I used to make time. Now we be way too busy just to make time. Even for my
real friends. I guess I get what I deserved on her. Word on the streets is they ain't heard from them. I guess I get what I deserved on her. Talk down on my name, throw dirt on them. I couldn't tell you how old your daughter was. Couldn't tell you how old your son is. I got my own junior on the way, dog. Plus I already got one kid.
couldn't tell you much about the fam, dog. I just showed up for the yams, dog.
Maybe 15 minutes, took some pictures with your sister. Merry Christmas, then I'm finished, then it's back to business. You wanna ask some questions about some real shit, like I ain't got enough pressure to deal with. Please don't pressure me with that bullshit,
cause everybody got them that ain't children. Oh, you been nothing but a friend to me.
Niggas thinking I'm crazy, you defending me. It's funny, I ain't spoke to niggas in centuries. To be honest, dog, I ain't feeling your energy.
We gotta go get something to eat, man. I'm hungry in the motherfucker.
Hey, yo, man. Damn, what's taking homie so long, son?
50, calm down. When you coming?
Hold on.
Many men wish death upon me. Blood in my eye, dog, and I can't see. I'm tryna be what I'm destined to be. And niggas tryna take my life away. I put a hole in a nigga for fucking with me. My back on the wall, now you gon' see. Better watch how you talk when you talk about me. Cause I'll come and take your life away. Many men, many men wish death on me, Lord. I don't cry no more. Don't look to the sky no more. Have mercy on me. These pussy niggas put money on my head. Gone, get your refund, motherfucker. I ain't dead. I'm the diamond in the dirt that ain't been found. I'm the underground king, and I ain't been crowned. When I rhyme, something special happen every time. I'm the greatest, something like Ali in his prime. I walk the block with the bundles. I've been knocked on the humble. Swing the ox when I rumble. Show your ass with my gun do. Got a temper, nigga, go ahead. Lose your head. Turn your back on me, get clapped and lose your legs. I walk around, gun on my waist, chip on my shoulder till I bust a clip in your face. Post to this beef ain't over. Many men, many men wish death upon me, Lord. I don't cry no more. Don't look to the sky no more. Have mercy on me, have mercy on my soul. Somewhere my heart turned cold. Have mercy on many men. Many men wish death. Sunny days wouldn't be special if it wasn't for rain. Joy wouldn't feel so good if it wasn't for pain. Death gotta be easy, cause life is hard. It'll leave you physically, mentally, and emotionally scarred. This is for my niggas on the block, twisting trees and cigars. For the niggas on lock, doing life behind bars. I don't see only God can judge me, cause I see things clear. Quick, these crackers will give my black ass 100 years. I'm like Paulie and Goodfellas, you can call me the Don. Like Malcolm by any means, with my gun in my palm. Slim switch sides on me, let niggas ride on me. I thought we was cool, why you want me to die, homie? Many men, many men wish death upon me, Lord. I don't cry no more. Don't look to the sky no more. Have mercy on me, have mercy on my soul. Somewhere my heart turned cold. Have mercy on many men, many men wish death every night. I talk to God, but he don't say nothing back. I know he protected me, but I still stay with my gat and my nightmares. Niggas keep pulling checks on me. Cypher said some bitch done put a hex on me. The feds didn't know much when Pop got shot. I got a kite from the pins that told me Tuck got knocked. I ain't gon' spell it out for you motherfuckers all the time. Are you a literate nigga? You can't read between the lines. In the Bible it says, what goes around comes around. Hamo shot me, 3 weeks later he got shot down. Now it's clear that I'm here for a real reason. Cause he got hit like I got hit, but he ain't fucking breathing. Many men, many men wish death upon me, Lord. I don't cry no more. Don't look to the sky no more. Have mercy on me, have mercy on my soul. Somewhere my heart turned cold. Have mercy on many men, many men wish death upon me.
Check it out. Shoot my phone.
I like this.
Now phone. To all the ladies in the place with style and grace, allow me to lace these lyrical douches in your bushes. Who rock grooves and make moves with all the mommies. The back of the club, sipping Moet is where you find me. The back of the club, macking holes, my crew's behind me. Mad question asking, blunt passing, music blasting. But I just can't quit because one of these honeys Biggie got to creep with, sleep with, keep the ep a secret. Why not? Why blow up my spot? Cause we both got hot. Now check it. I got more Mac than Craig and in the bed. Believe me, sweetie, I got enough to feed the needy. No need to be greedy. I got mad friends with Benzes. See notes by the layers. True fucking players. Jump in the Rover and come over. Tell your friends jump in the GS3. I got the chronic by the tree. I love it when you call me Big Papa. Throw your hands in the air if you's a true player. I love it when you call me Big Papa. To the honeys getting money, playing niggas like dummies. I love it when you call me Big Papa. You got a gun up in your waist, please don't shoot up the place. Why? Cause I see some ladies tonight that should be having my baby. Baby. Straight up, honey, really, I'm asking. Most of these niggas think they be macking, but they be acting. Who they attracting with that line? What's your name? What's your sign? Soon as he buy that wine, I just creep up from behind and ask you what your interests are. Who you be with? Things to make you smile. What numbers to dial? You gon' be here for a while. I'm gon' call my crew. You gon' call your crew. We can rendezvous at the bar around 2. Plans to leave, throw the keys to little C's. Pull the truck up front and roll up the next blunt so we can steam on the way to the telly. Gon' fill my belly. A T-bone steak, cheese, eggs, and Welch's grape. Conversate for a few, cause in a few we gon' do what we came to do. Ain't that right, boo? Forget the telly, we just go to the crib and watch a movie in the jacuzzi. Smoke L's while you do me. I love it when you call me Big Papa. Throw your hands in the air if you's a true player. I love it when you call me Big Papa. To the honeys getting money, playing niggas like dummies. I love it when you call me Big Papa. You got a gun up in your waist, please don't shoot up the place. Cause I see some ladies tonight that should be having my baby.
How you living, Biggie Smalls?
Imagining Benzes giving ends to my friends and it feels stupendous. Tremendous cream, fuck $1 and a dream. Still tote gas strapped with infrared beams. Chopping O's, smoking line optimals, money holes and clothes, all a nigga knows. A foolish pleasure, whatever. I had to find the buried treasure, so grams I had to measure. However, living better now, coochie sweater now. Drop top BMs, I'm the man, girlfriend.
Honey, check it. Tell your friends to get with my friends. And we could be friends. Shit, we could do this every weekend. That's right. Alright? Is that alright with you? Yeah.
Bitch! Talk about these. Yeah. Hey, yo, Black, it's time. Word, it's time, man. It's time, man. Alright, begin. Yeah, straight out the fucking dungeons of rap, where fake niggas don't make it back. I don't know how to start this. Yo. Rappers are monkey flipping with the funky rhythm I be kicking. Musician, inflicting composition of pain. I'm like Scarface, sniffing cocaine, holding an M16. See with the pen I'm extreme. Now, bullet holes left in my peak holes. I'm suited up with street clothes. Hand me a 9 and out defeat foes. Y'all know my stilo, with or without the airplay. I keep some E and J, sitting bent up in the stairway, or either on the corner betting grants with the CeeLo champs, laughing at bass heads, trying to sell some broken amps. G-Packs get off quick forever, niggas talk shit, reminiscing about the last time the task force flipped. Niggas be running through the block shooting. Time to start the revolution, catch a body head for Houston. Once they caught us off guard, the Mac 10 was in the grass, and I ran like a cheetah with thoughts of an assassin. Picked the Mac up, told brothers back up. The Mac spit, lead was hitting niggas, one ran. I made a backflip, heard a few chicks scream. My arm shook, couldn't look, gave another squeeze, heard it click. Yo, my shit is stuck, tried to cock it, it wouldn't shoot. Now I'm in danger. Finally pulled it back and saw 3 bullets caught up in the chamber. So now I'm jetting to the building lobby, and it was full of children, probably couldn't see as high as I be. It's like the game ain't the same. Got younger niggas pulling the triggers, bringing fame to their name and claim some corners. Crews without guns or corners. In broad daylight, stick up kids, they run up on us. 4-5s and gauges, max and facts. Same niggas that catch you back to back, snatching your cracks in black. Yo, is a snitch on the block, getting niggas knocked. So hold your stash till the coke price drop. I know this crackhead who says she gotta smoke nice rock, and if it's good, you bring your customers and measuring plots. But yo, you gotta slide on a vacation. Inside information keeps large niggas erasing and they wives spacing. It drops deep as it does in my breath. I never sleep, cause sleep is the cousin of death. Beyond the walls of intelligence, life is defined. I think of crime when I'm in a New York state of mind. State of mind. Your state of mind. Your state of mind. Your state of mind. Your state of mind. Be having dreams that I'm a gangster, drinking Moet's, holding texts, making sure the cash came correct. Then I step investments in stock, sewing up the blocks to sell rocks, winning gunfights with mega cops, but just a nigga walking with his finger on the trigger. Make enough figures until my pockets get bigger. I ain't the type of brother made for you to start testing. Give me a Smith & Wesson, I have niggas undressing. Thinking of cash flow, Buddha and shelter. Whenever frustrated, I'm a hijack Delta and the PJs. My blend tape plays, bullets are strays. Young bitches is braids. Each block is like a maze full of black rats trapped. Plus the Allen is packed. From what I hear in all the stories, when my peoples come back black, I'm living where the nights is jet black. The fiends fight to get crack. I just max. I dream I can sit back and lamp like Capone with drug strips on. All the legal luxury life rings flooded with stones. Homes. I got so many rhymes, I don't think I'm too sane. Life is parallel to hell, but I must maintain it be prosperous. Though we live dangerous, cops could just arrest me, blaming us. We're held like hostages. It's only right that I was born to use mics, and the stuff that I write is even tougher than dice. I'm taking rappers to a new plateau through rap slow. My rhyming is a vitamin, hell without a capsule. The smooth criminal on beat breaks. Never put me in your box if your shit eats tape. The city never sleeps, full of villains and creeps. That's where I learned to do my hustle. Had to scuffle with freaks. I'm an addict for sneakers, 20s a Buddha and bitches with beepers. In the streets I could reach her, about blunts I teach her. Inhale deep like the words in my breath. I never sleep, cause sleep is the cousin of death. I lay puzzle as I backtrack to earlier times. Nothing's equivalent to the New York state of mind. State of mind. Your state of mind. Your state of mind. Your state of mind. Your state of mind.
All right, so we are once again just lost had a little bit of technical difficulties with the microphone there, but we are back, and we have Bennett with us. And then I was gonna say about NY State of Mind. I think the number one song about like what it feels like to be in New York, especially kind of the out of boroughs, that is like when you drive in New York, I was like, it may seem a little bit weird, but that's the one I play. But we are talking not about music today. We're taking a break from music. We're talking about sports, and specifically we did last segment on the NBA. We're also going to do a little bit on the NBA now, talking about some of the keys to the finals, especially because that Game 1 first tip starting in just 23 minutes. Yeah, 23 minutes there. It's 8:37, starting at 9. And probably, I would say, I don't know if you agree with me here, Bennett, but the single biggest factor is Giannis Antetokounmpo, specifically his health and if he will be playing. I haven't heard the latest about that. He's so far questionable, but it's getting close to game time. So, yeah, let's talk about that. How big is Giannis in this series?
I actually just want to say I literally just got the notification that he is playing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
that's good.
No, right in time. But, yeah. He is playing today, and that's his health.
Some breaking news.
His health is obviously the number one biggest factor, and he appears to be healthy. So, or healthy enough to play, healthy enough to perform at his level that he's capable of is the big question now.
Yeah, and Antetokounmpo is probably one of them, and the biggest thing about him is how dominant he is on both ends of the floor. And it's going to be really hard to see how the Bucks can win the title if he is not at his full strength. So, how important is it for him to be per se at his full strength?
Well, we saw the Bucks beat the Hawks without Giannis in back-to-back games.
That's true.
The Bucks actually played much faster. Giannis doesn't slow the game down to take one-on-ones, and it seems like everyone else sort of flows smoother with Giannis off the court. And that's not to say the Bucks can win with it. I obviously think that Giannis is the key to the Bucks. Whether he plays or not pretty much determines if the Bucks have a shot at winning. It's it's
a pretty big deal.
But I think against a lowlier team like the Hawks, who obviously aren't as good as the Suns, playing faster and seemed to help. But
the thing about that is we have seen the Suns not each series that was talked about in the last segment. Each series that they've faced, they've had a major injury on the team. So it's that makes it a little bit tougher to gauge how important having how well prepared the Suns are first of all, and the effect of Giannis' presence.
Yeah, and facing a 36-year-old LeBron was their only real thing they can compare to a playoff Giannis.
Yeah,
that they've never faced before. So it's going to be really interesting how they match up. I don't know who can guard Giannis on that team. I think Aiden really has the best chance of just forcing him. I think the key to the Suns winning will be forcing Giannis to take contested jumpers.
And not giving him free access to the paint.
Of course, make it tough for him. And having Aiden, who's a good rim protector, is going to be key. Yeah,
and if he's able to get there and score some points in the paint, that would be quite devastating for them, for sure. His outside scoring is woeful, and his free throws can be tough to watch. Of course, there may be some counting in Phoenix faster than the actual time. We all know Shaquille O'Neal had similar issues and still won 3 Finals MVPs. So to be fair, he does have a good blueprint to go off of. And I would say Antetokounmpo is more dynamic of a player than Shaq was.
Of course, yeah.
He's probably definitely the postseason's most dominant scorer. But will he be able to turn on those unstoppable drives for the rim, and will he be able to do it in the whole game? He may be strong in the first quarter, maybe have some sort of knock or some sort of injury that could take him down, and that could be a really big deal.
And I just want to point out that potentially the biggest X factors for the Bucks, or biggest factors to the Bucks' success, rather, is how much can Jrue Holiday and Chris Middleton pick up the slack of Giannis Antetokounmpo? Will they be able to, sort of turn it up a notch if Giannis isn't playing well, because the Suns are focused on shutting him down? The Suns could really go with the don't let Giannis beat you approach. Completely focused on shutting down Giannis and then forcing Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton to score the points for them. Which, they've done it before, but consistently, no.
Yeah, and all we will see the dynamics. We don't really know how much to weigh everything right now. We will see them in this upcoming game very, very closely, how much each thing matters. So, yeah, very few players in the history of the league can say that they thrive as both a perimeter defender and a rim protector. So that's what makes him so unique. And can he do both of those things? Only time will tell, and we're about to find out very soon. So, despite experimenting with some switching during the regular season, Milwaukee mostly stuck with the drop through Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals against the Hawks. Through that point, the Bucks' screener defenders had categorized as playing soft coverage in about 40.5% of opponent pick and rolls per tracking stats. After Trae Young's 48-point effort in Game 1, Milwaukee adjusted. And although they did keep Senator Brook Lopez on the court, he sat out the stretch run of Game 1. Switches became their primary defense during Game 2, 3, 4. So a big defensive strategy change using soft coverage on 26% versus 40% of the time during Orlando's ball screens. And in Game 5 and 6, Milwaukee finished off the series without the injury of Giannis Antetokounmpo that dropped all the way to 9% of the time they were using these screens as the Bucks switched more than 2/3 of the time, according to Second Spectrum tracking. So this is kind of an interesting defensive strategy, and does show you, as they say, they adjusted to big success against the Hawks in those last two games of the series. Just, if you could just give us like a breakdown of these two strategies here, and which one you think they will use in this series.
I think shutting down Chris Paul and Devin Booker should be the main priority. I mean, let someone like DeAndre Ayton beat you. Let someone like Mikal Bridges beat you, you know? Yeah, you got to focus on shutting. And Booker's the kind of guy who could go for like 40, 50 any night. Playoffs, regular season. Switching. And he's not as dynamic as Trae, too. He's not the passer that Trae is. He's not he's probably not the 3-shooter that Trae is. So I think it'll be a little bit easier to guard and a little bit easier to double to sort of limit his success.
Yeah, all right. We're going to take a quick music break and come back for one final segment about some non-NBA action. That is going to be next. Stay with us. It's a sports special edition here of Uncultured, and we're going to get back to the music with a little bit of Call Me If You Get Lost, new Tyler the Creator album.
Whatever your shit is, man, do it. Whatever bring you that immense joy, do that. That's your luxury. The greatest thing that ever happened to me was being damn near 20 and leaving Los Angeles for the first time. I got out my bubble, my eyes just wide. My passport is the most valuable. Master couldn't catch me, my legs long than a bitch. Got too much self-respect, I wash my hands before I piss. They try to talk me, I'ma just go. Yeah, when I turned 23, that's when puberty finally hit me. My facial hair started growing, my clothes and ain't really fit me. That caterpillar went to cocoon. Do you get me? See, I was shifting. That's really why Cherry Bomb sounded so shifty. My taste started changing from what it was when they met me. But first impression is everything. Ain't wanna let me go. Always curious as a child and asking questions. So I ain't getting no fucks, if and buts if they accept me. Yo, my boy Skateboard P gave me that speech in Italy session. Thankfully by hour 3 a detour perspective. Thoughts change so rapid. Turn about a flyboy happen. All the bees buzz me, they buzz scream, they love me. First time my private airline. Accolade song got airtime. Go into my style, body, and feelings and fix my hairline. Calm down in front of camera. I've been this at tens of millions. I'm not that little boy I was introduced to at 1-9. Mom was in the shelter when Yonkers dropped. I don't say it. When I got her out, that's the moment I knew I made it. I don't come for money, they deny it. Since I don't mirror the stereotypical products of my environment. 8 figures in taxes taking, that shit is stupid. Flower gets his pedal, they pluck it but never use it. It's still potholes in the schools, where does it go? It's still loopholes that I use, nobody knows. Master couldn't catch me, my legs long than a bitch. Got too much self-respect, I wash my hands before I piss. They try to talk me up, but I keep short like Caesar. eyes open if I pray, cause I can't trust God either.
Seeing that we only get one life to live, how far do you really want to take it? Don't let them ever tell you nothing you can't do.
Yeah. I purchase more wheels when I feel like I'm third wheeling. My favorite part of the double R's, the bird ceiling, the panoramic view of the sky and the sun beaming. That ray of light show that nobody is front seating. I'm on the hunt for perfect, but decent is what I've been on. I know she fell in love, but commitment is not my end goal. And all my friends that did got too comfort, a little chubby, and that drive to make that money dried up when that nose was running. We ain't gotta pay attention to the stuff that he battles. Everyone I ever loved had to be loved in the shadows. Tug of war with X and Y felt like a custody battle. Felt like the boat going down. It felt like I'm missing a paddle. Might buy that crib in Seattle, covered in grass like in gravel. It come with 2 boats and cattle. I'm living sweet, ain't you heard? This perspective from the beak of a bird. You hope I peek, you take my piece. You gon' see me and run like thieves in the night. I'm paranoid, I sleep with a gun. The heat on my kangaroos because they beefing for fun. I'm vegan for now. I'm conscious, know my hands meet when I bow. I'm grateful. You niggas hateful. You eat at me, you got a plateful. You can't relate to these things I say to these instrumentals. Whether it's wealth talk or shit that's painful, I painful pictures of my perspective on these drum breaks. Just for you to tell me it's not good from your lunch break.
Holiday season. I'm teaching you have to understand from perspective.
Girl, I ain't no star, I just ain't from round here. Shit. My pilot told me I'll go far if I stay from round here. You are my prisoner. Shit. Hell, I'm so good at missing calls, bitch, I'm perfect this year. Shit. And I suggest you trace your scars if you get lost, my dear. Shit.
Nigga, I can't tell if I'm dreaming. Lord forgive me if I think I'm in charge, but the snakes in the grass is starting to get smart, and the snake in my pants is starting to get hard, and I'm fucking everything with 2 legs and a heart and some asses and titties and an ATM card. Feathers for my flaws and the lust for my scars, and this broke nigga dick guarantee I won't starve. Well, I suppose that you suppose using hoes is getting old and you opposed, and maybe I should growing up and iron clothes and find some hope, find some work and writing cursive in a curve. This is my birth. They wrap me up so I ain't fuck the nurse. Too numb to react when you struck a nerve. Throw a hip to bitch in a circle jerk with me, myself, and my demon semen. K-19 got me feel like fiending. Hold up, rewind, make a beeline, feel like a bald eagle chief, and I ain't even breathing. I'm a motherfucking ghost, you can tell cause I float and I lose my head without even bleeding. Fuck what the motherfucker thought that they knew about us. We got the juice and we keep on squeezing like drip, 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 drip. Hold up me cup, me take a sip. Hold up me pinky, me think me rich. Me being foolish, me no pay rent. Me look at roomies, all of them pissed. Eviction notice, take to the fridge. Thank the most high, me no got kids. They would be cannibals eating your kids.
I told her, girl, I ain't no star, I just ain't from round here. Sir Tinto. My pilot told me I'll go far if I stay from round here.
You see me in that Bentley, don't start to acting friendly.
Hell, I'm so good at missing calls, bitch, I'm perfect this year.
When the room's spinning and the who's in it.
And I suggest you trace your scars if you get lost, my dear.
And you ain't on the list, not a A-listing listed.
I done had all night to think about this. I done had all life to think about this. Get a plate of strife and 2 sides of shit. Let me click my heels and toss in them grits. Let a nigga hold 5 to my grinder click. I done had all night to think about this. All y'all judge it. Handful of bricks. I done passed out twice and I ain't been hit. Shit, I might be blessed. Let me write this left. Navigate this right to rent it don't end. Unemployment line like who bought the fence. Who brought the loaves and who hit got kids. Let me get that little piece together. Head start on my thesis sweater. Lay away, head start on my niece's sweater. Money fold on my jigger bag, crease whatever. Gotta go, gotta leave you better. Grew up where the leaves are wetter. And I hope and I pray when you read this letter that the seas don't catch up to your knees already. Cause all my dogs good. They running, don't run out the clock. Been living in the falsehood for damn way too long, man. Check out your stock. But that's cool. Y'all can keep on sipping out this narcissistic pool. Man, I'ma sit outside that shit just like the old dudes.
Said I'ma see it outside, that shit just like Pluto do. And watch you jump, who know hoops to satisfy your pseudo. Say, baby girl, I ain't no star, I just ain't from round here. Shit. White walls and wood floors. Shit. My pilot told me I'll go far if I stay from round here. When you see me at the bottom.
It's Earth Gang, one of my kind of new favorites. Or actually, I kind of like them for a little bit. They're pretty good. Missed Calls there is the name of the song. One of I think one of the more earlier songs that kind of went big for them, and it's definitely well deserving. I think we should probably start with the more depressing thing first here for our final sports segment, and that is, unfortunately, I hate to say it, the New York Yankees. They're about to face the Seattle Mariners right now. You're a Yankee fan, right?
Yeah, and you are as well.
Yes. So we're definitely kind of experiencing this together, and I think there's a lot of, we'll just set the stage here. This is in Pinstripe Alley, kind of talking about what is going on right now. So they're entering their first full series of the second half. Only one game over 500. The 6 remaining games before the All-Star break will go a long way in setting the tenor for the team as they creep towards the trade deadline. That is going to be very big because as crazy as it seems, with all the investment, with all the money, with all the hope and pieces that have been put in this team expertly, I think, by Brian Cashman, and I think uninspiringly managed by Aaron Boone, it looks like they are not going to be. They very well could be sellers. At the trade deadline, which is kind of insane.
I mean, I don't want them to sell.
Me neither.
I think they should keep going. I mean, we could be beating.
No, you're on, but just put up the mic a little bit.
Oh, my bad. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
All right. Anyways, as I was saying, I never want the Yankees to be buyers. I never want the Yankees to be sellers. I think we're still a very solid team. I really don't want to see them as sellers. I don't think that's the direction I want to move as a Yankee fan.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely still very doable. They're only one game over 500. I don't know where they're in the standings, but it's probably not that good.
We're fourth in the AL East, but there's a good AL East this year. We're probably 6 games back, 7 for a wild card.
Yeah, I mean, in a season, yeah, that's definitely doable. Half a season, that's definitely doable.
I mean, half a season is 81 games? So.
Yeah. Jameson Taillon and Justice Sheffield. That is going to be in about an hour in Seattle. That's the game for tonight. So Taillon, he takes him out in that first game. Going to bounce back from a rough last start. His last outing against the Angels, in which he allowed 5 runs on 3 homers. So pretty rough. His struggles to find a second put-away pitch off his 4-seam persist, with batters carrying an expected slugging percentage of 500 or higher in June against each of his kind of curveball, slider, and change-up pitches. For the year, Taillon is 3-4 with a 5.43 ERA, 73 strikeouts in 69.2 innings, and he's actually going to face off against a former Yankee top prospect, Justice Sheffield, Domingo Germán going against Yusei Kukic, and then Jordan Montgomery and Logan Gilbert. Those are the 2 starters for the next 2 games. It's going to be a pretty big series for them. But overall, what do you think here is the biggest problem with this team? Because it seems like on paper they have all the pieces you should need. I really think this is a locker room problem. What do you think?
It's kind of amazing to me how guys have really good seasons on other teams and then just come to the Yankees and underperform.
Yes.
I love the Jameson Taillon trade in the this offseason. I was that's another solid starter we have. The second option for the Pirates, I think, maybe even the ace. Joe Musgrove, I remember, was pretty good. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know, whatever. But, I loved it when it happened, and I don't love it anymore.
It's happened, I think. I couldn't name that many people, but off the top of my head, but I remember thinking that so many people leave and get good or are good previously and come and are not at the same standard.
Yeah, it's just
Cole, I guess. I mean, Cole's been good. Cole's been very good.
But yeah,
it's unfair. I apologize.
Cole has been good. Cole's been, maybe not as good as he's been really good. He might be the AL starter for for the All-Star game. I don't remember, but he definitely made it. He's definitely up there. The cheating thing is a little bit harsh. It seems like he is cheating from the research I've done, at least.
Oh, with the foreign substances.
Yeah, with the foreign substances. So, I
but
don't
what
know.
is that? Yeah, what is that about? So, like, you get the foreign substances. Like, is that because I've heard some kind of conflicting things from this. Like, some say it's just something that everybody does, and it's kind of what makes the game work behind the scenes. Or are some people doing it worse than others? Like, what's the story?
It really seems like it really seems like pretty much all pitchers are doing that. And
Yeah.
have been doing that.
Yeah.
And Emily, I don't necessarily agree with the move of the MLB commissioner. I think cracking down and offering 10-day or 10-game bans for anyone who is caught using it. And I think one person got caught so far. So,
Yeah, with some guy within the A's, I believe.
Maybe I forget who, but definitely cracking down as promised, and we'll see how that plays out.
All right, yeah. So it's gonna be very interesting. All right, let's spend the last 2 minutes kind of a very fun tournament that we've been here kind of watching. When is the next World Cup? Do you know?
The World Cup, I think it's 2022.
2022. Yeah, I think it's Qatar. Oh my god. Yeah. So there we got that coming up. We have, but kind of as a preview, a warm up, we have the European Championship.
As well as the Copa America in South America, happening at the same time. So,
that's happening?
Yeah.
How are the U.S. doing?
It's only South America. So.
Oh, cool. Okay, I see. Yeah, because I remember it was like the Gold Cup or something like that.
Yeah,
that's what the United States did. Like, they did that like a year after the World Cup, and they lost to like Mexico or something like that. But they're not going to be in the next World Cup. The United States.
To qualifying for the next World Cup isn't done, but it's very likely that the United States do make it. They've gotten to like the final round you need to go, and they're looking like a really strong team. So.
Oh, didn't they? Wait, which thing did they not make? Because
we did make the World Cup in 2018. I believe.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think did. I do remember reading that they had a big improvement. Where it all gets kind of like melted in. A really fun team to watch has been, and really Germany and France been the two surprises eliminated and really tough ones. They've kind of been the two favorites, France especially. But now we're left with Italy in the final beating Spain in penalty kicks. It's been insane how many games that come down to penalty kicks. Really been an exciting tournament in general. And then Wednesday we got big England game, England versus Denmark, which could be interesting. So is it gonna come home? That's the big question. Everyone's asking. It's kind of been a meme that's been very weird to see picked up here, with everybody wanting like UK national team to do or England national team to do really well.
Well, I think Italy is by far the favorites. I think England are the favorites to beat Denmark, but if Italy plays Denmark, they're like so much the favorites. But if they face England, I think they'll still be easy favorites. But I don't know how England is a really good team. They can compete with Italy. Is what I'm trying to say. But the thing about Italy is they haven't lost a game in 33 games. They haven't lost a game in the last 33 games. They're on a 33 game unbeaten streak.
That's pretty impressive. Yeah, they've got like some of the, because Italian soccer is very, very strong. Yeah, the clubs they got there. AC Milan, Inter Milan,
Juventus, of course.
Yes.
So
I'm saying the European way, very good. All right. We just passed the hour mark. That's all the time we have for you today. Thanks for listening to Uncultured. Really do appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow for another Newsflash episode.